Okay, I have a new addition to the indicator. I just find this indicator is just helping me see things that I just was missing before. And the other night I showed you the 183 ticks in 2.5 hours. I think this even exceeds that. I didn't do all the addition and keep track of the accumulated ticks, but I think you're just going to be astounded. What I added was I was thankful for Raul for telling me that his indicator wasn't working right that he got from me, and so I had to re send it to him. So it brought it to my consciousness, and I put it in this chart. And look at this. And here's what I'm looking at. This is the yellow is the 9 o'clock hour. Just before 9 o'clock, there was this volume accumulation making the low, and then we get to the high, and here the accumulation is less than the accumulation that occurred when it went down. So even though we have our linear regression, and this is set at a big number, 650, that is just showing just nonstop going up. And so it makes one hesitant to try and short. But with this, watch that. You could have shorted here and it went down 35 ticks in an uptrend. So that's pretty good. Now we get to this low right here. And this low, the accumulation is less than the last accumulation of into the high, so we would go long. And so we'd wait for our indicators to go positive, and this one right here. Actually, we didn't go positive until here, but that high is 67, and we went up to 87. So that's 20 ticks of this 30 move occurred after we got a signal. So we would definitely have gotten our 5 and 10 target contracts filled for 15 ticks, and then whatever we got up there. So it'd be at least 15, maybe 20 ticks on this trade. So a good amount of money. So then we get to our high, and our high shows that we surpassed the volume accumulation that occurred on the last move down, so we wouldn't do anything. When we get to this low had practically no volume to it, so we'd go long, and 44 cents from top to bottom. So, and our signal to go long came in, well, that, that's another signal here. Well, we have our 2 uh, points saying go long, and our volume indicator never really went down below zero by much. So any move turn upward would give us a signal to go long. So we could have gone here or here, and either way, we would have made a lot of money on the 3 contract system. Okay, so now we're at this high, and this high showed some good volume. So one of the things I've noticed too is excess. If you're at the very top, and this is the very top of what we've seen for volume, you can almost always go against it when it's finished. In this case, sell, and this went down, what's that, 31 cents. So we got an uptrend, a strong uptrend, and the other thing we might look at is how far this price is from the linear regression line. It's way up there, so maybe it needs to come back and adjust, which it did. So if you start by looking at the excess volume going into this high and just go against it when it's over, a lot of times you can make some money. So now we're at this low right here, and it's a little bit less volume than the last, and if we'd gone long, it went up 19 cents. So I would have been borderline making any money, but wouldn't have had a big loss either. So now we're at this high, and there was practically no volume accumulation into that, so we'd go short. And here we went down 19 cents, so that would have been, let's figure it out. Here's the signal. Let's see, the first signal to go to 0, below the 0, would have been right here, I guess. Yeah, right there. So this bar right there. But say we didn't get that bar, say we got the next one, which would be a worse entry. It was best to look at a worst case scenario. So this low rate here is 89, and we went down to 83, 6 points, so we would have got our 5 cent filled, and we would have been stuck with our other two. But in this case, our volume accumulation is really low. So when it's real low, whether it's above this high or not, since it's just so generally low, we go long if we get the signal, and we get the signal right there. So we would have gotten out of our other short right here or here, say we did here, at 93 cents. What did we get in at? 89. So it would have been a very small loss, and then we would have been long and gotten it all back because this went up 21 cents. So if we'd, there's our first signal. Our first signal is here. So say we got in on this high bar, went long at the high at 93. The high went up to 4 cents, so that's 7 and 4 is 11. So we would have gotten our 10, 5 and 10. So we would have gotten our 15 cents and either stopped out or made a couple ticks on the runner. So here we are at the high. And this high is higher than that last low, and although it's kind of low, I would just skip this right here. And so we'll mark where we are. So we get to this low, and this low is huge volume accumulation. It's at the very top of the chart of the subgraph. So we would go long at right here. We got a signal at the bottom, it looks like, or right here. Either way, we went up 31 cents. So we would definitely get 15 cents from our 510 targets and plus whatever we got on the runner. So here we're now at the high, and this high is considerably less than that high, the accumulation in the last low. So we would go short, and we wait for one of our signals to go below 0. It's like right there or right there, and it went down 29 cents. So we got 5 and 10 filled for sure, and we might have gotten something all the other. So now we're at this low, and we're below the accumulation from the last high, so we would go long, and on this long we go up 32 cents, so great trade there. And now we're at this high, and at this high it's another case where we're right at the top. So maybe with the linear regression so strongly up, maybe not take that. But if we stick to it, we would have said, all right, short, and it only went down 17 cents, so that would have been iffy to make any money on that. Let's see if we maybe gotten in at this low right there, 48 to 90. Oops. Low is 48 even, 92 cents, so it's 8 cents. So I count that as a loser. Wouldn't have been much because we would have gotten a signal as soon as we got to this low that there was no volume and to go long, and this ran up 41 cents. So even though we're taking every one and getting a couple losers, what we're making, I mean, in this case, immediately, boom, 41 cents. So I'm not sure how much that was, but I'm sure it was a good amount of money right there. So now we're at this top, We get to this low, and once again, no, not very much accumulated volume down there. So we go long up to 22 cents. We probably got our 510 targets filled. Another 15 ticks. And we're at this high. And this high, no volume. So we just say short. And this goes down 40 cents. So even though we're in an uptrend, a good uptrend, you're short going against the market and making a good amount of money down to that 40 cents low move. So here we're at this low, and this low is higher than the last accumulation of the up volume, so we wouldn't do anything. We get to this high. This high is higher than the last accumulation, so we wouldn't do anything. Get to this low, no volume. We go long, went up 27 cents. We probably got our 510 filled out of that for sure. And we get to that high, and it's way down here compared to the typical moves, so we would go short. And in this case, 27 cents is the move. So, if this had been all the way to the side, let me light this up. Right there, up to that, in this time span I'm looking at, from 10:30 to, that's not much time, is it? Well, anyway, if your chart had been here, this would be at the top excess, so you would go long on that. And in this case, it went up 33 cents, so another nice winner. So now we're at this high, and there's not much volume compared, so we go short. It went down 18 cents. So you can see sometimes we get these big moves down, even though we're in uptrend, and sometimes we get these small losers, but it appears that the winnings offset the losses, because this would have probably been, let's see, got in at low of 42. The low is 36, so that's 4 and 2. We got their 5-cent fill, and then we have other two to get out at a loss, but we got this signal right here, no volume. Our indicators turn up. We had a number of calls cutting double dots here, so we'd go long, and 45 cents. So we made up that loss very quickly. So now we're at this high, and it's higher, so we wouldn't do anything. This low, there was much less accumulation, so we would go long. Look at that, 55 cents up. So then we're at this high, and this would be excess, so we'd go short, 38 cents. And then this low is just a little bit lower than the accumulation, but it's the excess high at the high of the subgraph, so we'd go long, 26 cents. And here's low volume on the high, so we'd go short, and 19 cents, that'd be borderline, I don't know, I'd count that as a near loss anyway, break even. Might have gotten the 5 and 10, but the low, no accumulation, go long, 37 cents. So I think you get an idea of using this, and so I'm anxious to take a look at it on the simulator tomorrow.